Hello and welcome to DSR. I'm David Rothkopf. I'm joined by Riley Fessler. Hey, Riley, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Those sirens are not coming for you. I hear sirens in the background, and I'm just worried that that's ice or something
I don't
coming.
know. Clearly something is going on in my neighborhood because that's the second one in like 5 minutes. So
Yeah. Well, you're a U.S. citizen. What could go wrong? And Minna Stein, how are you doing today, Minna?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm sure they won't come for you today, Minna. Well, there's lots of stuff going on in the world. Why don't one of you guys kick us off with a story, and we'll try to walk the folks through what's going on.
the U.S. government recently revealed details about a crackdown on international students, including how it used an FBI-run crime database to flag about 6,400 students for potential visa violations. Many students had their legal status terminated with little explanation, often due to minor infractions or records of dropped charges. Following legal challenges, the government announced it would restore students' legal status and issued new guidance, significantly expanding Immigration and Customs Enforcement's authority. The federal judge criticized the hasty terminations and urged both sides to reach a settlement to prevent unjust deportations.
Yeah, they took a database of 1.2 million students, and they found 6,400 people who sort of came up with some kind of police record in their past. That's like 0.03% of the total, some small percent of the total. And then, they said, okay, well, these guys all get, kicked out of the country or something. But then they looked at it, and most of these people didn't actually do anything wrong, weren't convicted of anything, had the charges dropped, as Riley said. It was just exactly, the Trump administration's approach of, shoot, fire, shoot, aim. You know what I mean? In other words, taking action, but regretting it later. Maybe they don't regret it. Maybe they just think it sends a message. Hey, we're coming for everybody, even whether you did nothing. That old gag where somebody slaps somebody and they go, hey, what was that for? He goes, that was for nothing. Imagine what I'd do if that was really for something. What do you got?
The Wisconsin Supreme Court has temporarily suspended Judge Hannah Dugan from her duties after she was federally charged with obstructing immigration agents and helping a defendant evade arrest at the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Court documents allege that Dugan confronted federal agents, criticized their presence, and facilitated an alternative exit for the defendant to avoid them, leading to a brief chase and arrest outside the courthouse. Her attorney claims she regrets the incident and disputes the basis of her arrest. Her next court appearance is set for May 15th.
Again, this is one of those things where she gets suspended without having actually been convicted of anything, and there's a debate about the underlying facts of this case, including pertaining to whether she actually directed this guy into, getting away from these people. The agents were in the building and in the lobby of the building with this guy, could have arrested him right there, didn't, decided they wanted to do it outside. So they made a choice that led to this. Also, they had an administrative warrant, an ICE warrant, which is not actually a legal warrant. She apparently said, go get a legal warrant. That seems like a reasonable approach for a judge to take. My guess is in the long run, she's not going to face any penalty for this other than the damage done to her reputation by being arrested, walked out of her place of work, now suspended. And that may be all that the Trump administration seeks. Why? See prior story. Same thing. Riley?
Two Harvard task forces released reports revealing widespread anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim, anti-Arab, and anti-Palestinian bias on campus, affecting coursework, hiring, and student life. The reports detailed how political tensions following the 2023 Hamas attack on Israel intensified long-standing issues, leaving many students feeling silenced, unsafe, or alienated. President Alan Garber apologized for the university's failures and pledged reforms, while critics warned the proposed changes could threaten academic freedom and free speech. The findings come amid pressure from the Trump administration, which has tied billions in federal funding to Harvard's response and is demanding sweeping ideological and structural changes.
Yeah, first of all, Trump administration demanding ideological changes on campus has got to be a non-starter. Academic freedom has got to be paramount. Secondly, investigations of this sort are chilling. I don't know all the facts, but I do know one thing, and I can't emphasize it enough. We in this country, around the world since October 7th, have taken something very serious, anti-Semitism, and distorted the meaning. And somehow, as a result of some right-wing groups, have asserted that to be opposing the policies of the government of the state of Israel is anti-Semitic. It's not. In many cases, a majority of Israeli Jews also oppose those policies. Nobody's accusing them of being anti-Semitic. Being critical of their policies in Gaza, calling those policies mass murder or genocide, is not anti-Semitism. It's what happened. It's a fact. To go further, and this is where it gets even murkier, to support the aspirations of the Palestinian people to have their human rights respected, to have the right of self-determination, is not anti-Semitic. It's what all people everywhere are entitled to. But somehow, in the heated emotions, understandably heated emotions, of the situation after October 7th, this view was promulgated, and it was supported by powerful people in our society and is now supported by the Trump administration. So if there is anti-Semitism, it should be snuffed out, just like racism or sexism or bias against LGBTQ people or any other form of hate or prejudice. But we have to, if we're really concerned about those things, also be careful not to distort the meaning of those words, to over-define them so it incorporates things that are not actually a result of hate, but as a result of compassion. Or, and I think this is critical in the case of Harvard and every place else with this administration, to mistake efforts to control academic freedom with efforts to eliminate a potential wrong. If it wasn't anti-Semitism, it would be DEI. If it wasn't DEI, it would be opposing, trad wives or promoting a woman's right to control her own body. And ultimately, if it becomes any one of these things, it'll become all of these things. And universities and schools and libraries and museums will cease to be places that promote critical thinking, creativity, free thought, and the kind of things that make a society vibrant. And they'll start becoming tools for repression. And that's what I worry we are heading towards now, whether you look at the administration and the universities or the administration and law firms or the administration and government policies or the administration and the National Endowment for Humanities or the National Endowment for the Arts or the Smithsonian. Every place you look, there are efforts being made to undermine freedom of expression.
President
Sorry
Trump.
for the sermonette. I just, this really gets to me. Go on.
President Trump stated in an ABC News interview that Doge, led by Elon Musk, has made fraud referrals to the Justice Department, though he gave no specifics. Doge has driven a sweeping federal cost-cutting campaign, firing over 200,000 workers and dismantling agencies, drawing both praise for targeting waste and criticism for endangering public services. Musk plans to step down from his official role with Doge at the end of May, casting uncertainty on the agency's future despite claims of $160 billion in taxpayer savings, which have been questioned due to reporting errors.
Well, look, if they want to report fraud, start with Doge, right? They said they were going to save $2 trillion, then $1 trillion. Now it's $150 billion. It's actually not $150 billion. It's probably closer to $60 billion. But for every saving that they've achieved, they've also produced lost services and in many cases lost revenue. The estimate of lost IRS revenue is $500 billion. That's more than the total amount of all the savings plus all the money that's being brought in by all the tariffs. But they lie about the numbers. They're lying about the tariff numbers. They're saying they're bringing in, I don't know what it is, $5 billion a day or something like that. They're bringing in $250 million a day. And of course, that's all being paid by consumers, right? It's not coming from foreign governments. But they lie. They lie about all of this kind of stuff. Today, there were new economic reports that have come out, and it showed that in the first quarter of this year, thanks to these Trump policies, the economy actually contracted by 0.3%, contrary to expectations that it would continue to grow. What are you going to get from the administration of that? You're going to get denials and you're going to get fake statistics. And they're going to say, oh, no, we grew. That's wrong. Or it's missing the point and the growth is coming someplace else. Or we're going to, they'll re-estimate it or some other kind of thing. And that's critically important here. But, there's also been a lot of Doge wrongdoing. There are reports coming out of Doge, working behind the scenes to ensure that people who targeted Elon Musk got fired, agencies that targeted Elon Musk got whittled down, places where Elon Musk was going to actually face major fines got shut down. Doge is been hugely unsuccessful, deeply damaging to the American people, deeply damaging to the United States government. Highly corrupt and fraught with lies. But otherwise, great job. Nice first 100 days, Doge.
Shifting things a bit, Pakistan has warned that India may launch a military strike within 24 to 36 hours, claiming it has credible intelligence that India plans to use a recent deadly attack in Kashmir as a pretext. The attack, which killed 26 Hindu tourists, has led to widespread outrage in India, with Prime Minister Modi vowing harsh retaliation. India blamed Pakistan for supporting the militants behind the attack, a charge Islamabad denies, while tensions along the border have escalated with sporadic gunfire exchanges. The situation has intensified fears of conflict between the nuclear-armed neighbors, both of whom claim the disputed Kashmir region.
And it's not just about Kashmir. It's also about other long-standing open wounds in the relationship, like water, access to water across the border. The Indians are saying that they're going to keep water from going into Pakistan. Obviously, people need water to live. There have been stories, analyses prepared by military and strategic analysts for as long as I've been in Washington, which is quite some time, saying that water wars and border conflict between India and Pakistan represent one of the most dangerous hotspots in the world, one of the most likely points of high-intensity conflict because of the high populations, because of the animosity that has existed since the countries were established, once they were freed from British rule after World War II, and because both of the countries are nuclear armed and have very large armies. So it's something to watch very closely. It's a dangerous situation. The Modi regime in India has made targeting Muslims, and remember Pakistan is primarily a Muslim country, as one of the centerpieces of its Hindu nationalist policies. And it would not be entirely surprising to see this flare up into something even more dangerous for the people of the region, and should nuclear weapons be involved, for the entire world. Well, there we are. It's Wednesday, hump day, the 100th day of the Trump administration. But tomorrow May begins. May is the month Elon Musk leaves the government, we hope. Better things are in store. I can just feel it in my bones. I don't know when, though, but we'll keep looking for it. Riley and Minna get up early every morning and start saying, well, where's something good happening? But nice job on that, guys, by the way. You know, where's something good happening? Did you find anything today? Positive?
Not really today. Yesterday was our bright spot for the week.
Oh, well, we'll take a bright spot. We'll keep looking, and you keep coming back. And what else do you get from us? You get Scylla Consciousness, you get Deep State Radio, you get Words Matter, you get our AI, Energy, and Climate podcast, which has an interview with the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang. Got a nice mention today from Axios, although it didn't mention that it's a DSR podcast. Seems like a kind of big oversight to me. But we're happy that it is getting the attention it deserves, and you should listen to it. So there's a lot going on here at the DSR Network. Why don't you support what we're doing? Go to dsrnetwork.com, click on member, become a member, support what we're doing. It doesn't cost much, helps us a lot. And we'll be back here tomorrow. And I promise Riley and Minna will get up earlier, and they will try to find something good to talk about. Or I will. Maybe I'll get up. I don't want to get up early, but maybe I will. So we'll see what happens. Until then, bye-bye, everybody.